Welcome back. Welcome back to Bitcoinlandia, where hopefully my microphone is on. Let's do some sound checks to make sure I'm actually talking to people. All right, great. I know my camera's big. I know you can't see my charts. My camera's big because I want you to all know that while Bitcoin stays boring and relatively uneventful, not too distant from let's just call it, if you're 3 feet away from a computer monitor, if it's within 2 fingers width of the weekly 10 EMA, there's really nothing exciting going on. Unless it's above it, then it might be getting exciting. So since it's in the northern hemisphere becoming springtime, if you haven't taken a break looking at charts for a while, this is probably a good time to do it. All right, unless you day trade very small time frame candles, 1 minute to 30 minute. But even then, you should probably take a 4-hour break in the middle of the day, because a lot of the action begins stopping at about 3 p.m. New York time in terms of volume and all that kind of stuff, and just the exciting moves. I can't stress that enough, folks. If you stay in crypto in terms of your eyes, so your eyes stay on crypto way too much, and then you start seeing this capitulation, and you've been building up hopes that it wasn't going to capitulate, and it does, because it's probably going to. That's probably when you'll leave crypto. But if you take a break when Bitcoin's doing nothing, it's getting nice outside, it's going to be healthier for you. You'll have good expectations, and I'm going to show you why I'm starting off the stream like this. I'm not really... actually, I'm going to hit this button. All right, the reason why I started off the stream like this is because you're getting ready to get information that is more like for Discord, paid for type of stuff. However, I'm not going to really give you any secret sauce, but I want to give you a quick heads up. It is from a poll that I've taken. How much of your non-futures crypto, here it is. Okay, I'm going to pull this over to the screen over there. Wow, I have way too many tabs open. There we go. I'm going to pull this over to the screen. I think that's working good. All right, how much of your non-futures? So when you're in futures, you're constantly in and out of Tether, typically, right? Unless you have it set up where it's drawing out of another coin that you have in your main account. But in general, like for example, I'm 100% in futures right now because I'm in no trades. I've been working too hard on doing things for my Discord to make May and beyond just a lot different and a lot more active. So no matter what walk of life, altcoin person, somebody who doesn't know how to use TradingView, somebody who knows how to day trade, whoever, you can literally walk into my Discord and have like something going on with other people at all times. So I haven't been able to really trade. So I'm 100% in Tether and futures. So that's why I say non-futures. But my crypto portfolio, I would be unfortunately in this category. And so that's unfortunate. You should be, I guess if you're right at I should have put to 49%. But if you're close to 50 or way over 50, okay, and again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. How do I make myself big? Okay, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am really disappointed in that. Okay, and the YouTube poll that I took earlier, actually, let me start recording here. You're gonna have to watch my my little intro one more time. So give me a quick second here. All right. So I'm very disappointed in most of the people who are in crypto, whether you're crypto YouTube or crypto Twitter. I took 2 polls. They're both of equal disappointment. That means you're not paying attention to most analysts out there who have any idea what they're talking about, because the vast majority of good TA people, I mean, even a chunk of ones that aren't that good, they're all talking about the stronger and stronger possibility of a capitulation where Bitcoin goes closer to 20K. right? I've been talking about it longer than all of them, but I have the habit of doing that, right? Because I was the person back in March saying Bitcoin has 4 strikes of bearish divergence on the daily chart. It's going to fall down. I was saying 42K. It's going to go to 42K, even though it went down a lot lower. And then about 3 weeks later, all the other people started talking about it. And then actually people started talking about Wyckoff because it started making, and they were right about it after it happened. But I usually am early to the punch on seeing big downturns. I don't know how I'm able to do it. It's just some voodoo magic. I don't know. But there are a lot of people talking about it, and seeing these polls that I'm getting ready to show you how much Tether people are holding on YouTube and Twitter. It's disappointing. That means you're not listening, not just to me. You're not listening to people out there, and you're gonna get screwed. So let me show you what this is about. And sorry, you have to watch my intro live users one more time. There we go. Look at this. Okay, so 54%. Over half of people have 0 to 10% in not just Tether, so stablecoin. So that can be US dollar, that can be on a euro, on Coinbase Pro or whatever. Like it could be fiat, but that's not good. These 2 bottom ones should be the biggest if you're paying any type of attention to anybody. I mean, like even your people who, in my opinion, all they do is draw lines on their, they do this the whole time, their whole analysis, and like make stuff up, a 1, 2, 3 and a 3, 3, 5. Those, like, I think I'm making fun of wave analyst people because they just make up which waves suit what already happened instead of making correct guesses of how the waves will happen. But even your wave people, who I make fun of technically even more than your pattern traders, if I can just lightly picking on, not a serious picking on, because they're trying to help people. I'm not being too much of a dick about it, but for me it just doesn't make sense, right? I'm not saying it's not helpful for others, but even your squiggly line people and your pattern trader people who are looking for M's and W's and triangles and pennants, their lopsided pancakes or with syrup dripping off, whatever patterns they come up with. Is that a real one? A lopsided pancake with syrup? I don't know. They make up so many stupid pattern names, but it doesn't. But the point is, I'm being light, making fun of those types of trading for a reason, because most of them are talking about a capitulation. Most people, even if I think their trading analysis, their style of analysis is stupid, right? And I always thought I would think sequential trading was the dumbest type of thing. But now that I've been analyzing how other people analyze chart, I don't think it is. But the point is, even the people who I personally think have the worst type, it doesn't mean they do a bad job with the analysis, the type of methodology of analysis itself. They're yelling about a stronger potential of 20K, just like I've been yelling about since before most people were talking about it, right? Because I have a habit of doing that. So not good, people. Not good. And if there is something, and I'm not a financial advisor, I don't give financial advice. This is all about Pokemon cards, entertainment, and education only. Definitely Bitcoin and, Litecoin and Dash and XRP Pokemon cards, training for battle in the Pokemon field. But you need to be holding more stable, Pokemon cards. And so if there is a rally, so let's go back to this chart. If there is a rally, that takes, so this is the US Tether dominance chart. And I gave this alert for my community last night. So just like yesterday's Bitcoin video, I said I gave an alert last night, and guess what happened? It hit the target exactly by the time I do my Bitcoin video, right? That's what's happening today as well. Look. So it actually hasn't closed. Did I say it needs to close 1 hour? Dawn falls below that area BTC. So BTC's probably BTC might be right at 42K. I don't even know where Bitcoin is right now. So look, bam. Right? So it got up to 42,950, 42. Look, that was a damn good guess. All right. And then I'll bring up my Discord. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash because my graphics card and the memory doesn't like me having too many programs open. But I want to show you this. If you join my Discord or the YouTube tiers, all right, or no, the Cryptillion YouTube tier, the loyalty tier, the biggest benefit they get is they get priority questions but anyway, look. So you see how high Tether dominance was on my alert? Here, let me actually, can you even tell that? Here, look, my Discord here, open original. Tether dominance was above that line. I said if Tether dominance falls in this area, Bitcoin should be at 42,850. And I labeled the box at the bottom 4.27, at the top of the box 4.35, but it's probably going to hit the bottom of the box somewhere under the 10, right? Should be around 42,850 is what I mentioned, because I have a lot of people who are playing, both short and long positions simultaneously. And so where did Bitcoin go? Let me make a line at 42,850. That's the type of alerts that you're going to get from me. It's not just long-term alerts. If you're a short-term time frame trader, and what I do is I have a team of people who are doing the short-term time frame trading. Like a lot of them are like in Near Protocol, and a couple of other very volatile coins with strong liquidity right now. So if you don't like to trade, then don't worry about what I'm saying. But if you're somebody who wants to trade, I have trading leaders who use some of my signals on Bitcoin and overall market to start changing their strategy or start taking profits and guiding whoever's within their channel, within my platform and all that stuff, right? So I'm doing a lot of alerts for this. So just heads up. And another reason I'm saying this, not just to tell you that my Discord will help you out with having a more profitable crypto journey, but the thing is, I believe I spent some time on the last live call explaining you all need to have this chart saved on your watch list. So look at me over here. Look. Oh, wrong way. See that over there where I'm pointing? Okay. I have it saved on my watch list, and I actually have it colored so I can find it pretty easily. Because it's among the most important. I don't know why I have Cardano. I only have Cardano because people ask about it. And then these two down here are labeled, so I know that one's Bitcoin longs, one's Bitcoin shorts. You don't necessarily have to look at that. That's only for Bitfinex. It's not 100% representative, but I'm telling you, you need Tether dominance on your watch list, and you need it there permanently for Pokemon card trading purposes. All right, because you can see that I gave that alert yesterday. I knew within $80 exactly where Bitcoin would be if it touched the bottom of this box. And what did it do? It touched the bottom of the box, and Bitcoin actually went a little bit past, but it hit my target exactly right as it was all the way up here. And Bitcoin was like a 41.2, and it went up $1,500 because I was assuming it was going to break down and go below here. Do you see that? And so if you are a hodler slash somebody who doesn't like to use futures, I also, within my Discord by May, I have one of my veteran VIPs. She is going to lead people who don't want to get burned by futures. She's going to lead my spot trade for smaller cap and mid cap coins, because there are ways there within my community. I've taught people. I don't want to give away secrets on YouTube. How should I say this? But she's the queen of it. She actually took what I, kind of said, and then she learned how to do it better. She sees if anybody's had a recent death in the family, I'm sorry with what I'm about to say, but she sees dead people in the charts like I do. Like, she sees things that no one else sees, right? Like, she can take a 5-minute fractal of Bitcoin from April 12th, stretch it out to the 8-hour chart, and it covers 6 months of time, and it matches everything Bitcoin did in 8 months on the 8-hour chart, because it's the same algorithm run on a 5-minute chart, but that same algo is manipulating or managing Bitcoin price on the larger chart as well. The same algo, different universe, different size universe. If you've ever seen Men in Black 2, how there's a universe inside of a universe, and all that stuff. But anyway, she's going to help lead the spot trade type of stuff. So there's a place for everybody within this Discord community, particularly starting around May 1st, and I'm going to promote a little bit more starting around May. The links to that are in the description section. If you're not joined yet, you might want to check out just a lower tier and wait to do anything more till May, because there's going to be some changes that will be in your favor. But it's the links in the description section. My Twitter is Cosas Verdes with the number 2 afterward. Number 2 after Cosas Verdes. Lots of Bitcoin and crypto and Bepro and Verasity and Trias updates on there. And then if you just don't want to join a community because you hate chat rooms, but you want alerts like the one that I showed you, like this, letting you know that Bitcoin is getting ready to go to 42,850 in the next few hours. That's what these tiers are for. If you just don't like communities, there's a join button right below every, I don't know about the live videos, but any other video that I make, there's a join button, and then if you click it, about a 2-minute video will pop up describing to you what you're going to get. There's my sales spiels for, or just not sales spiels. I mean, I'm here to really help people, and showing you what I'm providing and how it's helping out my users. And I don't want everybody to think that within my community, I'm the one always giving alerts. I'm the one. No, I have live traders who are doing that, and I give the overall market Bitcoin alerts, and they are the masters of, they get to know how 3 different coins move with high volatility, high volume. Like, they're really good about NEAR or coal or whatever. What does one of them really likes? What was it? No, it's not Aave. AXS was one that one of the live traders is really into, despite its insane volatility. So they pick a few coins with good liquidity and heavy volume, which means you can sell, $5,000 at once without any slippage or no slippage, and they train their followers within my community on how to do it. All right, so Bitcoin. Take a look at Bitcoin. I'm going to start the analysis now. Bitcoin went up almost exactly to where I gave the update last night. It was probably about 4 a.m. I've, for some reason, gotten the habit of going to bed at 5 a.m. and waking up at 9:30, right around the markets open. Because I'm making all these changes for my Discord community. Because I want to try to create a place where at 24/7, whether you live in Indonesia, your Jakarta area next to Krakatoa, one of the over there. If you live in Japan, if you live in Berlin, 6 hours ahead. If you live in the UK, 5 hours ahead of New York. It doesn't matter. There's always something going on, whether it's live trading, spot trading, how to learn TradingView, somebody on video who you can look at their calendar. You can ask them questions about TradingView. It's getting ready to roll out a lot of cool features in May. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Again, nothing has changed drastically on Bitcoin. And I want somebody, I think the delay on the live call is too much. So I can't really say raise your hand if you know why, even though Bitcoin is above. So let me make my brush a different color here. I can't stand it when it's red, but I turn it red because I always trace over the weekly 10 EMA to extend it, and then I turn it red. All right, so take this off. Who can tell me in the comment section whether there's a 20-second delay or not? But if I see it pop up here in a minute, even after I say the answer, I'll know. I'll give you a thumbs up here. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. Okay, this is the 10 EMA. And remember what I've been saying over the last how many videos? Because Bitcoin has been under it for a long time. Look, so it has been under it for 12 days. So for 12 days, I've been saying the same thing. Assume down until 3 things happen, okay? And I'm giving you a hint. Why has nothing changed, and why should we still, in general, assume down? Although your assumption of still down might be slightly less, But why is it that in Bitcoin analysis, you still have an edge of over 50% of short time frames, like 4-hour to 12-hour charts in general being bearish, and making a lower low lower than this one down here. So this pump, come down, you still have a better chance of it coming back down to 40,500. Why is that still the case, and why is that still an edge? Because there are 3 conditions that need to happen. I've been saying it for about 12 days on every darn video. So somebody write that in the comment section, in the live comment section. And if you're watching the rerun of this, not live, then write it down below and give me your guess. And then you can go back and edit it to tell me if you got it right or wrong. I really hope somebody knows. I hope you all know the answer, because I've been saying it every damn video. and I say this because I'm trying to help. I think even last video, I gave you an example of the last time this happened. It was a trap. And I identified that it happened on the 22nd hour of a day. And it was an end of day attack, so that the same people who pumped Bitcoin in the penultimate hour of the day, they got a bunch of people to go long. Then retail traders took over. Those same people who pumped Bitcoin on the 22nd, or on the second to last hour of the day, they were taking on shorts. Those same people who bought then sold Bitcoin on spot, and they made millions and millions of dollars by tricking people by getting the day to close over the weekly 10, right? Okay, and so that's why it's so important. You have to know the answer to this, and I'll actually show you that one. If you missed that, I'll show you where it is real quick, but I won't go over it too much. And when I showed it to you, doing it live, I didn't plan. I even told you, I bet this was an end of day attack. And when we zoomed in, it was the second to last hour, and then the last hour went here, and then hour 1 of the next day started. Then retail made it all go like this, as those people who did this candle stacked on their shorts, and then the same people sold millions and millions of dollars across probably 5 to 6 exchanges, all coordinated, probably in the same room, all sold it on spot. They even probably did a countdown as they are looking at their market sell button. 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay, we have our $20 million of short stacked because we fooled, $20 million worth of people across 6 exchanges. So you have a group of people on different exchanges counting down, and then they all hit market sell, and it goes kablam. And even if they're selling Bitcoin at a 2% loss, they do it because that's the futures they're making money on, right? Okay, so that's the rant, and I'll show you where that was here in a second. Hopefully somebody gave me the right answer. Close it. Okay, so closes above, use as support. I don't have a third guess. The second one, that is close. So broke. Yes, that's the favorite name. Yes, I couldn't remember. On my Discord, somebody has my second favorite username. That is the best username I've ever seen. Yes, that's correct. I hope I see you on these live chats more often, even if I have to change the time here in a couple weeks to like later in the evening or something. I just don't think 10:30 a.m. is the best time to be doing this numbers wise. But Brokoshi no dinero. That's hilarious. You're mixing English, Japanese with Spanglish type of stuff. That's hilarious. You're getting close. Yes, that's very close. It has not respected the 10 EMA. Franklin says that's another way to say it. Needs to bounce and hold above. Yes. So Dylan says needs to bounce and hold. Yes. Okay. That's right. So pretty much a mixture of all there. I think Dylan pretty much had it. So remember, and I'm going to make, I'm going to make that red, and I'm going to have to change it right back to not red. But anyway, so this is the weekly 10. Okay, so I'm pointing to the weekly 10. This is just an extension of the weekly 10. We're extending it. The reason why we still are assuming down, okay, because we still don't have the first condition met in order to be neutral on anything more higher than like the 1 or 2 hour time frame. Obviously, short-term time frames, you have higher lows, higher highs, and so from this point on, if you trade 5-minute chart to 1 hour chart, like my at least one of my live trading leaders who has his own channel within my Discord does. He's not assuming down. He's assuming up. He's trading long, right? And hopefully he, I know he saw that alert and he probably traded harder because of it. Anyway, so it depends on the time frame. But anybody not looking at micro time frames, so let me be specific. Non-micro time frame people, you still are assuming down because the set of conditions have not happened where you either become neutral or you have an edge to the upside beyond micro time frames. It needs to get above. Check. It got above the weekly 10. Good. Second, you need to come back down and use it as support. Even if it's just one 5-minute candle, which I typically don't like it when it's only one 5-minute candle, but honestly, that's sometimes enough. All right, so you need to get above it, which it's done, but still the condition has not yet been met. This still means assume down. Obviously, assume a little less, but you need to come down and use this as support. Then you need to close several green candles, whether it's 5-minute or at 1 hour. You need to close candles green after that. All right. And that's when you have about a 50% edge on, that's when you're neutral. It's roughly 50-50. But the conditions for assuming up still haven't been met yet, but they're really close. So this is the time where it's roughly 50-50. If you're about on the 15-minute chart seeing this, it's particular to the weekly 10 EMA, as price has been trying hard for 12 days to get above it. You don't need 4-hour candles doing it. I'm telling you, 5-minute candles work. Now there are exceptions. If Bitcoin was at 69K and drastically goes way below the weekly 10 and then is still volatile, goes right back up, in times of huge volatility after big drop, not the same. You need 4-hour candles and daily candles. But since Bitcoin's been creeping up to it, I'm telling you, 5-minute candles work. So this would be the point right here where you have no edge either way. It's 50-50. And how one of my live trading leaders would do, again, I don't know if I want to give his secrets away, because his secrets, actually, I don't even know. I didn't even know it was possible to do what he did to hedge. This is where you start hedging, and essentially, if you want to stay in trades, you have both longs and shorts open. Because this could turn into a lower high where it comes down, and it looks like it bounces, but it finds support under it, makes a lower high, then fails it, then goes like this. But it's a 50-50 chance at that point right there. So one option is this pink stuff that I just drew. But when you have an edge is when you look at the first pump above the weekly 10, because whenever it gets above it and it doesn't just get rejected like this, it goes up somewhere and stops, right? It's usually actually not this high on a percentage basis. It's usually like this, and it comes down to check it, comes up. But regardless, the time that you have a better than 50-50 chance is when you pass the local high made from the first push above the weekly 10 and close. So this juncture, actually, let me do it like this. This is really important. What I'm about to show you. Why? Especially if you trade and click around with your money. If you're a hodler, you're just learning things that are useful, because when you are taking money from new retailers in 2024 on the next bull market, you're going to need to know this, because you're going to be you're not stealing their money. They're giving you their money willingly. But if you know these things, you're going to be taking money from noobs, and it's going to be so easy, just like it was easy for me in February and March and April, right? And I kept telling everybody, that's why in those months I was literally mean to people on YouTube, yelling. Like, people were calling me dad. Like, I like being yelled at. So I was telling people to sell for a reason. And in retrospect, who was right? Me. Verasity didn't hit $1, right? I still have that video saved and the line saved and everything. I said I would sell all my Verasity, and Verasity hasn't gone. It went 50% higher, but then it went down 80% lower, right? Like even and I love Verasity. Verasity might be one of my, honestly, my favorite small mid-cap coin. If during capitulation, I'm going to really focus on that and Trias. But anyway, so used as support, comes here, maybe has a hesitation, whatever, gets here, hesitation, gets above. Now, you see how this is a juncture like this, right? So this could mean what I'm doing right now is, let me get rid of this. So what I'm about to show you is really, really important. Whether you trade or not, this will help you take money from the next wave of retailers. Like I took money from retailers, you know, in small caps this time. I'm trying to show you something really important. So you see this line here. This is where the first local high after passing an obstacle happened. Sometimes if this is going to be a fake out made by those people who are only trying to take on shorts after pumping it up, like I just showed you earlier, and I actually will find that same spot, sometimes they will get it above that line, but before the candle closes, and it's a green candle, a 15-minute candle, right at the end, or an hour candle. If you don't get an hour or 15-minute closure or whatever, the higher the candle, the better percentage. But roughly 1 hour candle, at about 45 minutes in, it tanks, and all of this turns into a red wick. And the candle turns red, then it heads down, and then it turns into this pink stuff. So when you have an edge, is not just when one candle gets above that first high, but it needs to close. And what candle size you use is up to you. For example, if you make a rule, because you trade short-term time frames, my rule, when I trade, I like to be in and out because price is choppy right now. I like to go for about 2 to 3%, maybe 4% raw moves in price with 5 times leverage. So when I hit my 18 to 20% trade, I'm out no matter what. Sometimes I let 25% of the trade roll and move up my stops, but I usually just get out. In choppy markets, that's been my style when I trade. So for me, that rule that I just showed you, make it close at the juncture, because the juncture could go down. It's the 5-minute, because I trade smaller time frames in choppy markets. If you are somebody who likes the daily candle or whatever, and you're trying to trade a big day, like a 7% day, which Bitcoin might actually have soon, but to the downside. But for example, you might want to wait for at least an hour to close. So your rule of this juncture closing above the previous local high here, okay, let me actually make this shorter, and let me get this out of the way. So the first pump above the obstacle, once it gets above, the higher level of candle. So imagine you wait for a 4-hour candle to close above here. Your odds to the upside, so with a 5-minute candle closing above, you have an edge. It's 51% or higher trading to the upside, even on 4 to 12-hour time frames. You do have an edge at that point. It's not very big. If you wait for a 1-hour candle to close above this local high, okay, then your chances might be 53% for you're trading for the upside on charts on the 4 to 12 or 4-hour to daily charts. If you wait for a 4-hour to close, your chance might be something more like 50. It goes up a lot. So your 4-hour candles and your daily candles, they drastically increase the chances of what your trading system assumes you have an edge for. Your edge gets better with a bigger candle closure. But it depends on your trading style. Because for me, if a 5-minute candle does it, I already entered the trade on this first higher low after support. So once it breaks here, I don't care if it turns around and tanks, because I have already taken my, so my entry, my stop may be down here. I've already taken my stop and put it into profit. I can go to sleep, eat a sandwich, you know, like go watch a baseball game. This tanks. I still made like 2% on my trade, even though I got stopped out, because I waited for the next little pump, waited for it to get above here on this juncture. And so if this was my average entry on the first higher low, this is my stop. I move my stop up and I walk away and I'm good to go. And maybe I have my profit taking up here that never got hit, but I'm in a risk-free trade. Sorry, so I'm showing you stuff this is the kind of crap I go over on Discord a lot, and it happens on a lot of altcoins. Altcoins follow the same rule. The reason I'm showing you this now is because this could be a fake out or a failure of the weekly 10, because I've been talking about the weekly 10 so much, and I've been talking about these 3 conditions for at least 12 days, right? And so I want to hyper focus in on what those 3 conditions mean and how they can make you more money in crypto. Making money in crypto sustainably is not watching freaking YouTubers who say, you know, like Polygon Matic is the future, or even though it might be, I'm not making fun of Polygon Matic, right? Or like Hedera Hashgraph, even though Hedera Hashgraph looks like a cool ass project, but just, you know, whatever. YouTubers talking about altcoins, especially during, what were some of the stupid thumbnails I saw? And I'm not going to name any names of people. YouTubers are typically respectful, not bashing other YouTubers. And I only made that mistake once when I had like 1,000 subscribers. I realized, wait, that's their business. I'm not going to try to take money out of their mouths and make them not be able to feed their children just because I think they make stupid mistakes, right? When I make stupid mistakes, I let you know about it, right? But anyway, I'll talk bad about myself and not other people. Chain link to $700, shit like that, right? So that's not how you make money in crypto over time. The way you make money is identifying when you have an edge and how big that edge is. So if your edge is small, then you don't want to hit that trade too hard. If your edge is big and it is a great setup with great risk management, you probably want to hit it as hard as you can all at once. When you have an awesome, like your 4-hour candles and 1-hour candles, make it so you can have your risk management like 0.08% under your entry. Like, those are the best setups when you have a great risk management setup because of the candle structure. And so what I'm showing you here is that knowing this type of stuff that's happening in front of your eyes, this is how you make money sustainably over a 6-month period, instead of listening to, you know, like people on Twitter who have pictures of pretty girls and they're not actually a girl, which is, I don't know, probably about 40% of those accounts. I think most women on Twitter are actually real women, but about 40% aren't. And, you know, they're like, I'm a VRA chick and like VRA to $1. No, that is not how you make money. You need to know this stuff I'm teaching you. I'm showing you. This is one example that is pertinent to this situation. And knowing, you know, with a 5-minute closure, if I need to trade small time frames, but if it's only a 5-minute closure above that line, then my edge is barely anything. It's over 51. It's over 50%. If a 4-hour closes, then my edge might be 57%. It's all about knowing how big when you have an edge. So A, when you have an edge, 2, how big that edge is, and number 3, and then how to trade it, how hard you hit it with your money, right? And if you're not a trader and you are like, why is this guy talking about trading techniques when I'm a hodler? This helps you know when to buy as a hodler. Because if you are able to buy, so imagine a small cap altcoin, right? That is at 2 million market cap. Okay, so like a really micro cap coin, something like IDEA. IDEA might be at 1.8 million. Okay, so I'm going to show you why, even as a hodler, what I'm telling you is freaking important, and it could be life-changing, potentially life-changing differences, especially if you stick around till late 2024 when the next bull market it will already be going on, or it'll be having at least it's crashing down by the end of something like that. Might be 2025, but I'm guessing 2024. Anyway, if you stick around that long, this could be life-changing what I'm telling you, even as a hodler, not a trader. What I just showed you about percentages, edges, here's why. Imagine an altcoin whose market cap is 2 million, right? You have $1,000 to spend on it, and you really want to buy the damn thing, or whether it's Pirate Chain or whatever. But Pirate Chain's market cap actually was like $1 million when it was low, and it went like 300x, right? But anyway, this will make a huge difference. Just watch. So imagine Pirate Chain at 2 million market cap. okay? And you want to buy $1,000 of it. But you know tricks like this, and you realize, hey, I think this is too far away from its weekly 10. It's got to go back down to it, and it's got to make about a 50% drop to get there. I'm not buying it when it's too far above its weekly 10, which is in during bull markets what I yell at people about. Doesn't matter if some big YouTuber talks about Chainlink $700. It's too far above its weekly 10. Don't freaking buy it. Pokemon cards, not financial advice. So Pirate Chain at 2 million market cap, you know, wait, it's got to go touch its weekly 10. It's been above it for too long. When it does that, a 50% drop, what's its market cap now? 1 million. Let me show you why. As a hodler, what I'm showing you is potentially life-changing money. Because how big did and I'm not even going to assume you can sell the top on Pirate Chain, but just kind of looking at this real quick. Okay, how big did its market cap get? Its market cap got, so you would have had time to sell the top when the market cap was 2 billion, but you had plenty of time, weeks to sell at about 1.2 billion, okay? All right, and its market cap down here was 14 million, but I'm going to act like it was 2 and 1. So let me show you the math, why this could be freaking life-changing for the next bull run. Watch. You saw it at 2 million. You knew from statistics, like a trader, even though you're not a trader, I need to wait. It goes down to 1 million. Then, am I covering my, yeah, so you can see my chart. Okay? You wait because you understand statistics, you watch my channel, you get it at a 1 million market cap, then Pirate Chain goes to again, you couldn't sell the top at 2.8 billion, right? It was only there for a second. But it hung around 1.2 billion for a long ass time, right? Okay? All right. So, if you watch, now we're going to do a little math. All right? Okay, 1.2 billion market cap. Okay, divided by 2 million. You got a 600x. I mean, hell, if you didn't wait for the weekly 10, you still did pretty well. But here's the difference. Watch. If you just knew the statistics, all right, and how do I clear on this stupid thing? Clear. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. That's, yeah, I understand. Yeah. You did a 600x, right? But if you bought it at 1 million, I haven't had much coffee, but if you bought it at 1 million, you double because you bought it at half the market cap. Your gains are double just because you knew simple statistics and edges as a hodler, somebody who doesn't trade, right? So like making it even more simpler. Instead of 1.2 billion, let's say it gets to 100 million, right? Just 100 million. If you bought it here, you 50x. If you waited, because of statistics for 1 million, if you go from 1 million market cap to 100 million market cap and the coin circulation doesn't change, which I think Pirate Chain didn't like release a bunch, assuming the coin circulation stays the same in these conditions, you 100x versus 50x. Just because you know simple statistics that are for traders, but if you use it as a hodler, you go from 50x to 100x. Do you understand what I'm saying? It makes a huge difference as a hodler. You can, it's like working hard versus working smart, right? And honestly, I hate that phrase because I think if you work smart, you should also work hard. That's how you win. You work hard, and I don't know why that's such a common, maybe because so many people work hard doing it a dumb way. I don't know, but I still think it's a stupid phrase. You should work hard and work smart. That's what winners do. I mean, that's what Michael Jordan did. Like, you know, he was the most competitive person in a healthy way. He didn't win at all costs like a cheater. Like a lot of people from Indiana think the Patriots were cheaters when they had Tom. Like Hoosiers is the name of this, is the name of the people in Indiana. And when the Colts were really good with Peyton Manning, just everybody thought the Patriots were cheaters. I don't know what the rest of the country feels, but not a win at all costs like the Patriots and their coach Belichick, right? He's a win at all costs competitive. That's bad. But Michael Jordan was the most competitive, healthy person you'll ever will have met. All right, and so that helps you as a hodler to know how to be competitive, to make yourself in that hypothetical situation go from 50x to 100x just because you knew a simple rule because you watch Cosas Verdes, or other people who aren't just drawing 3-3-3-5-5 waves on their chart. I'm just making fun of wave traders again. This could be me just being, I'm claiming my ignorance. I don't get it. When they're making stuff up on their chart, it really just looks like they're drawing lines, but I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm not actually making fun of people, not naming any names. I'm claiming my ignorance that I don't understand it. So when you see me make fun of stuff, it's more making fun of myself that I don't understand why they're drawing so many squiggly lines, and their squiggly lines that they draw forward in time really actually never work out. And the squiggly lines that I just drew for my daily update actually worked perfectly, and Bitcoin hit the exact level, but you don't see wave traders really ever do that. A little different. That's why I make fun of them, because in retrospect, you can draw, it did this and this and this and a 3-5. Yeah. But tell me where it's going to go in the next 5 hours, the next 2 days. You can't draw your squiggly lines and nail it like I do on average. Anyway, so that is, that's my rant. And so the reason why I'm digging into this so much, again, twofold, is because I've been talking about this moment for 2 weeks. Condition 1, you need 3 conditions. The first one's met. The second one has not. The third one is getting above this line. That's when you have an edge. When you have about a 50-50, a coin flip is when it does 2.5 of those, it gets to here. And you get green candles here, but it hasn't crossed this line. That's when it's 50-50, and then you can start doing hedge stuff for people who actually trade. All right, so that's how the probabilities work. Now, where is that fake out that I showed you? And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Yes, it's here. I'm trying to help you not get screwed by something like this back on March 2nd. Okay? March 2nd. Whether you're a hodler or not. Like, this could be the difference of saying, yeah, I want to hodl XRP. I bet XRP was about 80 cents or 78 cents at that point, right? On March 9th, because of that. Actually, let me see where XRP was. March 9th. 77 cents. It got up to 77. That was a close guess. I follow XRP. Actually, I'm starting to like XRP. Not necessarily in terms of it trying to take part of Bitcoin's place in the world. I'm not a huge fan of that. Not a huge fan that it's not technically a cryptocurrency either, because it's too centralized. But so in terms of like crypto, I'm not necessarily a big fan of that. But just in terms of what's going to make me money over the medium term, I think XRP is a damn good bet. It doesn't matter if I don't like it or not. I think XRP is a great bet. And again, I'm not shilling it, but jeez, like it could be literally the thing that takes us out of a bear market. So anyway, I'm starting to turn around on XRP, or in a good way. I used to anyway, I'm definitely hodling it now, and I'm not even 20 bagging I'm not trading it. I'm just accumulating it to some degree. But anyway, back here, that's why I knew roughly where the price is, because I'm paying attention to XRP a lot. So March 9th. So remember, I zoomed in on this candle, went to the 1 hour chart, and all these statistics and all this ranting that I've been going over, it's to save you from getting screwed from this happening. Look down here. Can you see the bottom of my chart? That's 2,200 hours. That's the second to last hour of the day. It was an end of day attack. This was the last hour of the day. That red candle that came back down and did this and closed up here, that's the first hour. That's 0 hours of March 10th. Or no, it was, yeah, no, it was March 8th that this happened, and then March 9th, this was all March 9th. This was the second last hour of March. So 10 to 11 o'clock, 11 to midnight. And then that's when those people who bought this on spot were taking on their shorts as retail kept pumping it. Oh yeah, we have a higher low and a higher high. We're geniuses. We're going long. No. You're getting ready to get screwed. This was an end of day attack. So whenever you see an end of day attack, bring something above a weekly EMA, and it's not necessarily the end. So if you see an end of day attack on a Sunday to close above a strong EMA, it's not necessarily going to be a fake out. But this was not the end of the week. This was just literally this was a bull trap, and they often, you can tell them if it's an end of day attack. Sometimes it's the beginning of day attack. So that's why I'm showing the probabilities. Look, because look, it went above, but when it came down, did it ever use this as support and then break back above its first initial high? No, it didn't follow those rules. Look, look, it went above on its first pump here. Damn it. It went above on its first pump, came down, never used it as support, made a higher high. Still, only one of three conditions are met. You need all three in order to have an edge. You still have no edge. Came down, lower high, which means when you have a lower high, that means you're getting ready to try to use this as support. And what did it do? Nope. Kablam. It only got one of three conditions. And when the second condition, using this as support, its turn was due, right? It blasted through it to the downside, which is why even during this whole time, you are still assuming down. Yes, when price got above it, maybe you assume this strong before it gets above, and after it gets above, you're assuming this strong down, yes, but you're still assuming down. And so March 8th and March 9th of 2022 are the perfect friggin' examples, and that could be what's happening. Now, I know that this, I just spent an hour on that, but I'm telling you, it can make you so much more money in crypto if you just understand these basic rules. And it doesn't have to be the weekly 10 EMA. It could be a horizontal or an origin line or whatever. It works the same way, particularly on 1 hour and below. 4 hour stuff, sometimes it'll just go way above, make higher lows and keep going. But on the very small charts, I promise you, things get beautiful. You see things happen exactly. Whether it's an origin line or the weekly 10 or the monthly 10, it's exact. Or even monthly openings, which I've already showed you. It's very important to make a line on your monthly openings. A couple weeks ago, I showed you how I made a Discord alert 2 days prior, and I said, everybody on Discord, I think price is getting ready to come up to the monthly open and then get rejected. And what happened? It's exactly what happened. It went up exactly to it. I've already gone over that. I'm not going to go over another thing. So monthly open lines are very important to have on your chart, even if you're not looking at the monthly thing. But the same rule that I'm telling you about, get above, use as support, then break the local high. In terms of edges, it applies to so many things. Monthly open lines, origin lines, other horizontals. I really hope I'm making sense. All right. So I'm going to start looking at questions now. And I'm going to do super chats first, if there are any, and then I will look at community members who have an emblem next to their name second, and then I will then try to look at the all the other questions from non-members, non-super chats. And so, again, the reason I went over this so long is because I still need you to know that we are assuming down, because the conditions to think otherwise have not been met. So my analysis, and the reason I went over that, is because nothing has freaking changed in 12 days, people. 12 days. Nothing's changed. Still assume down. Assume a little less, so, the edge to the downside isn't quite as strong, but it's still way over a 50% chance that this breaks down and goes lower than this. It's still more than 50% chance, and nothing has changed for 12 days. So I'm not going to go over all the stochastics and this and that. I'm teaching you something, and I'm teaching you how to fish. hopefully you found that helpful. I'm telling you, hopefully you found that helpful. I'm going to start moving on to the questions. That is yo Bitcoin stuff. And I'm going to take a quick drink of water and run my end screen here real fast. Oh, man. Okay. The boy was lit yesterday. Dispensary had killer deals. What do you think I was high yesterday? No, I didn't sleep. I've been having trouble sleeping. Not really troubles. I've been staying up on purpose, and because I have some of my team leaders have really been helping me out a lot to essentially make the most active Discord in all of crypto in specific terms of no matter what time of day, no matter what time zone you're on. Actually, I need to stop recording. Boom. No matter what time zone you're on, you can always go in, and even if you're a trader or you're a noob who needs to learn how to set up a chart and you want to talk to somebody, that there's always something going on, or that you can see their calendar and in 2 hours, the Trading View tutorial guru, like let's call him Travis. Travis will be on in 2 hours. I'll come back in 2 hours because I need to ask him how does Tim do origin lines, and he'll show me stuff like that. So no, if you're talking about dispensaries, think I was high. No. Oh, 420. Oh, I see. Yeah, I used to celebrate 420 big time. Yeah, I used to celebrate pretty heavily, but now, man, I don't. I never, honestly, when I was a youth, I never could imagine the day I would say I don't smoke. But I with 4 kids and a very, very heavily traditional Latina wife, I definitely find myself saying that I rarely partake. And the last time I did, I visited my this is gonna be, don't know if I should say this on YouTube, but whatever. I went to my fraternity to watch the Super Bowl. It was like 2 years ago, and they had Pokemon cards. And I took a Pokemon card, a big one. I couldn't move for the whole because I don't smoke very often. I couldn't move. I didn't get the whole paranoia thing where I think I hear my mom talking to me like teenagers usually get when it's their first time. But since I had that, I was stuck. And those college kids had so much fun looking at an alumnus who couldn't freaking move, stuck on the couch watching the I could watch the Super Bowl, I understand, but I couldn't talk. I couldn't respond, but I could watch the Super Bowl. So no, I don't really partake in 420. Yeah, but I definitely used to. I was one of those people in high school with a 4.0. Literally, and so teachers never suspected, or my parents. Actually, my dad knew, but I just never got caught. Yeah, I was because of my good grades. No one suspected. I was able to get away with a lot of shit back in my day, without ever getting caught. Not a single time. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's get to Harrison. Yeah, like mega weapon. What is mega? Are you just like making up words here, or is this oh my gosh, this is a real thing? Okay, so be careful on you. This is a swap coin. I could be incorrect with what I'm about to say, but I think it's harder to get rid of coins if you want to market sell on swap. For example, if you want to sell now, and they're, the order books are so thin that if you try to sell, it might say error, like no one's willing to buy. So swap only coins are dangerous. Yeah, they might have great gains. You know why? Because people can't fucking sell it. I'm pretty sure that what I'm saying, it might not be 100% true at 100% of all times, but I know it's true to sometimes because I have a community, And there are tons of people who try to market sell stuff that has gone up, and they can't do it because the order book's too thin. There are no buyers. There are no willing buyers. So be careful with swap coins. And I think on some of these, you can't even set limit sells. You can't even create an order book. You can't be one of the orders sitting up top, like waiting for buyers to eat up. Like, I don't know, unless Uniswap and the swap stuff have gotten better, but at least in 2021, that's the way it was. And I really warned people against swap coins because, yeah, you can't get out of it when you want to. All right. So this came out recently, Mega Weapon. So it had its big laser beam of an opening. How big of a percent up was that? Holy, it's 67x. What? Okay, but that's in the first hour. So we're gonna have to ignore that. But still, we gotta take into consider that it did a 67x. Okay. It is above its weekly 10. So honestly, I think that was the pullback, and it recovered, made a higher high, went below the weekly 10, I don't think it has to correct back down because of that. Honestly, that was back in November. So 5-6 months ago, or 5-ish months ago. Yeah. I would actually say this looks really healthy. I'm honestly surprised I'm saying that for something that did a 67, but a lot of times during new coins, you can't even count the first candle, right? It's like technically starts here. So, but this honestly is among the stronger coins in crypto. So imagine the weekly 10 gets drawn out like this. It's been respecting its weekly 10 for 100 days. This has permission to fly. Yeah. If honestly, even if Bitcoin went back down to 39K, 38K, this would probably have a decent sized dip, but it would probably only go about that far below its weekly 10, the same distance it went here. And then if Bitcoin had a bounce, it would come right back above its weekly 10. So it would probably go about 25% below its weekly 10 if Bitcoin takes a big dump. If Bitcoin takes so this is versus ETH. This is the chart I chose, sorry. But versus ETH. But it's going to be about the same thing versus Bitcoin or the dollar too, like with its weekly 10. If Bitcoin takes a big dump, I still think this will stay healthy. It could go 25% below its weekly 10, which would be about a 50% drop. But overall, this whole structure looks good. So if Bitcoin can make a move up to 50K, this is easily going to scream above this box. And it could probably double. Yeah, this could easily get a 100% move. Am I saying buy this shit now and you're going to double your money? No, I'm not saying that. I'm going to be very careful because remember, Bitcoin, we're still assuming down. The 3 conditions have not been met. Therefore, you might want to assume this might come back down, either make a higher low than work up or come down and retest the 10. So I'm not saying now's a good time to buy this for a short-term trade, but for midterm, assuming Bitcoin can stay steady, this is a hell of a coin to be in. You didn't ask anything more specific, but honestly, this is among the healthiest new coins I've ever seen. This is I don't know. This has got a good following, and they obviously are doing something right with their project. They have people using it. Assuming it's a real crypto, it has a blockchain, it actually looks like users of this are using its actual blockchain, and it might be a gaming token where people need to, to have the token in order to play the game or whatever. This is getting real live usage. I can see it in the charts. Because this isn't a YouTuber talking about it, because if it's a YouTuber shit, then it'd just go bam for no reason. But this is 100+ days respecting its 10. It's one of the healthiest looking coins in crypto. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah. And if you go down on the 1 hour chart, it's probably not tradable. So if you're going to trade this, you need to think about like the daily to weekly charts, because look at all these gaps. Like, because it's a swap coin, right? Like you can't expect to buy here and sell 20% higher. Because there's not enough volume. It's going to be hard to get rid of your coin. So even though it looks healthy, just look at this. The hourly chart should not look like this. That means nobody bought or sold it for how many hours? Nobody bought or sold for how many hours? Nobody bought or sold for how many hours? Nobody bought, you know what I mean? So just be careful with that. But in general, this would be one that you might want to hold on. You know, the only way to make money is you have to, it's going to take longer to get out of it is what I'm saying. For Pokemon card advice only. All right. So that's Harrison. Damn, you don't have a TV in your bedroom or what? Dylan, I don't understand what you're saying. I do have a TV in my bedroom against my will, because all the relationship scientists suggest against it, even though that hasn't slowed me down. Their advice actually didn't apply to me, but yeah, I have a TV in my bedroom. All right, so not a question. Thought it was funny that the Bitcoin hit Bitcoin hit 420 on 420. Okay, that's cool. There are protocols that enable limit sales on DEX. That's good, because when Uniswap and all these swap coins were coming out, I know that half of my community was in them, and I told them, I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to get rid of them. And a lot of them, people said, I'm trying to sell. Won't let me sell. Why? Because you bought a swap coin. So if that's changed, that's good, because that used to be the case. All right. When 3-digit Trias? Probably 2024. All right, we're going to take a look at Trias, ticker Trias, as everybody knows. Anybody who watches my channel, we all know about Trias. Actually, Trias videos have been getting more views on my YouTube than my damn Bitcoin videos, so Bepro, and this might turn into a Bepro, Trias, and Verasity channel here sooner than later. Okay, again, this is respecting the hell out of the weekly 10. Weekly 10 is this red line. If Bitcoin can do anything that's even decent, so sideways or better, okay, stay above 39.5, something like that, this has permission to fly if Bitcoin can move up. And because of this, so it's going to depend on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks down and goes to 32K, yeah, this is probably going to come back down to $3.80. It's going to have a 60, 50, whatever percent that is. Yeah, that's only 40. It might actually, so if Bitcoin hit 30K, it actually might go lower than $3.80. But you get what I'm saying. This will be affected by Bitcoin. However, because of this respect, if Bitcoin can at least stay above 39.5, which means it goes down a little bit, but at least stays above about here, Trias is going to continue respecting its weekly 10. And then if Bitcoin, let's say it did go down 39.5, then had to pop up to 50K, this has permission to fly, and it can be a very big move, like well over 100% move. It could be. So again, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying market buy Trias, you're going to double your money. What I am saying is, it has permission to have a hell of a move if Bitcoin permits and can do something a little bit more spectacular than sideways movement, because of the respect on the weekly 10 EMA, which is the single most important EMA in all of crypto. And I personally would argue it's the single most important indicator in all of crypto. However, that's easy to argue. But in terms of EMAs, I don't think it's possible to really intelligently argue against that. And in traditional markets, I think it might be the weekly 21. So yeah, 20 days of respect. And so it, and again, I told you, it fell out of this trading channel. Let me delete this box. Let me get rid of this too. It fell out of this trading channel. And I told you I'm worried about it because it came up and used it as resistance. Remember that back in one of my Trias videos? And I said, because it's done that, it needs to move sideways on top of its weekly 10, because this right here in general is just bad. So your best hope is sideways on the weekly 10. And guess what's happened? It's gone sideways on the weekly 10. So now I can delete this channel. And just because it fell out and got rejected from the channel, price should, assuming Bitcoin stays over 39,500, this is good. It's good. Its next target, I mean, I can't really, since this is a community coin, I can't give you exact sell strategies. Like, you know, if you have $1,000 of Trias, you know, maybe 20 bag here, 30 bag here, 40 bag there, or like dump all of it if it hits this or whatever. I can't do that kind of stuff. But I am telling you, if Bitcoin has any sort of move close to 48, 49, 50K, this has the ingredients to have 100% move or bigger, which means it would go to $11 to $12. From a strictly percentage basis, I'm not making horizontals. I'm not making guess of $11, $12 because it matches up with something over here on the chart. It's just because of this permission. It's a small cap. It can easily get 100% move. And it's going to take a pretty big move on Bitcoin to the downside to invalidate all this, because I would say somewhere around 39.5 Bitcoin, this should stay within realm of writing. But if Bitcoin starts getting below 39.5, you know, in that area, that's when it's going to start dipping into this box somewhere sub $5. It'll be about sub $5 if Bitcoin makes a bigger move below about 39K, and that would be that's what you got for Trias. It's looking really good, folks. And again, remember how I started off my live stream showing you the poll from Twitter and I didn't show you the YouTube one. I did the same poll on YouTube. It's even worse. Even fewer people holding Tether. There's still it's over a 50% chance there's going to be a capitulation in 2022. Whether you agree or not, if you disagree with that, you're wrong. Okay? I'm telling you. There is over a 50% chance of capitulation in 2022. I'm trying to freaking help you, right? And this is kind of like me back in March and April yelling at people to sell. And they're like, no, Bepro's going higher than 4 cents. This is nothing. I was like, no, people, right? And or Verasity people. And Verasity people making fun of me for 45 days because it inched a little bit above where I said, this is going to be a top, right? So I'm telling you, if you don't agree with it, I'm telling you, you are wrong. Could you be right that it won't capitulate? Yes, you could be right there, but you are wrong about the statistical probability. In fact, that it is statistically probable that Bitcoin will capitulate or at least revisit 29K. That could be counted as pseudo capitulation, but you would be wrong about about it being probable or not that it capitulates, right? Just because something's probable doesn't guarantee it's going to happen. Like if I win $1, if I roll a die 2 through 6, and you win when you roll a 1, I have the statistical odds. That's what I'm telling you. I'm the 2 through 6. You need to roll a 1 to win. Could you roll a 1 and Bitcoin doesn't capitulate? Yes. Right? So for Trias, even though it's looking really good right now, so this is Pokemon card trading advice. This is not financial advice. If you are looking to get into Trias and trade it and, become a buyer, you either need to have that with the mindset of a DCA. So if let's say I have $5,000 available, DCA means you only use a small portion, like $300 or $400 for this to be a DCA, right? So that's DCA people. This isn't a time to use all of your money because there is a probability of capitulation. Or the second type of person, you swing trade or, click around with your money, buy and sell 2 times a week. If you do that with Trias now, and I know you can't see my screen. I want you listening to the words coming out of my mouth. Honestly, right now, it doesn't look like a bad time to pick up some Trias if you do it with the intention of being a seller of the same amount of Trias you just bought within a reasonable time frame. Because somewhere around late April or early May, I'm telling you, it could get really ugly. So if you become a buyer in Trias, those are the 2 mindsets that I would suggest from a Pokemon card non-financial advice standpoint. Either use it as a DCA, which means you don't throw all your money at it now, right? Or 2, you become a buyer with the intent to sell within a reasonable time frame with a specific target of a percentage up, like I want a 20% move, 18% move, so you're back into Tether because there is a probability of a capitulation this year, and it might not be far away. That's Trias for you. And for people who have watched my channel since way back, I haven't yelled at people for a long time, so I wanted to yell at you. But I'm telling you, like, you have to have one of those two mindsets. If you're a Trias fan, or even so, Bpro's doing the same thing. Same to Bpro. Just imagine I yelled at you Bpro people too. All right, two mindsets. Okay, that's Trias. All right. Let's see here. I need to. Ben Shirley bass and Tommy Holt drums. Shirley and Holt left and were replaced by Zoltan Bathory, now Five Finger Death Punch. Wasn't UPO a rock band? Very good day. Okay, you're talking about UPO. I don't know what you're talking about up there. Oh, you guys were chatting before I was on. Okay, that's right. Happy 420 plus one. Yep. Win three. So that's so 3-digit Trias. That was essentially my answer to 3-digit Trias. Like, if you become a buyer, don't think about fucking 3-digit Trias. That's not how you want to do this. But it's probably going to be 2024. All right. Yeah, OLT. I used to hold a shit ton of OLT. I did get rid of it, and I did not sell it at 10 cents because I was staking it for a while, and man, I did not. I mean, I still over 8 to 10x where I bought it, but I could have made it like a 20 if I'm still pissed. Yeah, and it's been doing really well again. I almost wish I would have just kept it staked, just like my idea, but I wanted to free it. I wanted to free it up for some other stuff, because I kind of thought it had such a big run that was it. But you know what? It's bouncing back versus, I mean, look at this. This is versus Bitcoin. This is doing, even though Bitcoin's going down, so it's not back at 10 cents, right? Because it was at 10 cents here when Bitcoin was at 60K. So this probably means it's at 4.7 cents if I had to. Actually, let's go take a look. I actually don't know what it is versus the dollar. Oh, that's pretty close. 5.5 cents. So even though it's on the same level on the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin is lower. Therefore, if OLT finds itself here when Bitcoin's 70K, that would mean it's at 12 cents. If OLT finds itself on its chart here when Bitcoin is 40K, that means it's a hell of a lot less, right? But honestly, OLT is so its focus, similar to Algorand. Is it Algorand? Algorand, yes, is focusing on Southeast Asia / Oceania, the Marshall Islands. They are using for, like, you know, they created a national cryptocurrency off of Algorand, and Algorand's initial focus is, like, you know, test running, you know, out there, making sure it all works. Like, that's where they're trying to strike first before they open up to a bigger market. That's Algorand. And the guy and if you've never watched this guy's channel, I'm actually going to promote a YouTuber who doesn't compete with me because he doesn't do, I think it's called Whiteboard Crypto, where he explains stuff. It's something Whiteboard. Just put Whiteboard Crypto. Oh my gosh. It is by far, if I want to learn something about a coin, he's by far the best channel on YouTube, in my opinion. I don't even know the guy. I'm just letting you know he's my favorite source of information. Even though there are a bunch of YouTubers who go out there and talk about coins and what they are, it doesn't even compare to Whiteboard Crypto. Anyway, but he accidentally pointed to Indonesia instead of the Marshall Islands when he discovered it, and he left a comment, "Whoops, I pointed to the wrong thing, guys." Anyway, OLT is focusing on the Caribbean. So this isn't a penis, this is Florida, right? So that's Florida. It is focusing its efforts, down here. Okay. And so it's in the Caribbean. It is, it's being implemented and used, and its blockchain's being used. And as that gets going, because they're having success with actually being used, once larger markets see this project, that they obviously started off in smaller area on purpose, right? Because if you're going to go sell a product to a huge company and you've never sold it to a company before, that company's not going to buy your product. But if you've done a kick-ass job with smaller areas like the Caribbean states, right? And then now you go to Spain and say, Spain, you have a need and you're trying to do this. Well, look, we've already done it for 7 smaller countries. So that's kind of their plan of attack. Algorand is doing something similar. This, I don't know. This has a potential to be a hell of a project, folks. I'm telling you. I do not own any OLT anymore. I did. I sold it all, and I didn't sell anywhere near the top, unfortunately. But I feel good about it because I did used to cover it, so I didn't dump on anybody. I actually waited till lower high and it was falling, so I didn't dump, but I did unstake it and sell it, and I'm kind of regretting that because actually no, it's back about where I sold. I sold it around 5 cents. I sold it halfway to the top, and I bought it well under a penny. I bought it like at 0.0045 or something. I bought it during the Wyckoff distribution shit down here, when Bitcoin was like 29K. I mean, it was way under a penny, right? So I think I got like an 8x or something out of it. But I mean, that's really all. So I'm mixing fundamentals with the chart. The chart looks really great, guys and gals. I mean, higher lows, higher highs, because this is not a confirmed high yet. Could keep going. And once Bitcoin goes on a run and this chart can maintain an uptrend versus Bitcoin, and it keeps going like this, and let's say at that point Bitcoin starts going up, these gains are double and triple gains. Sure, while Bitcoin's dropping and this chart is still going up versus Bitcoin, its gains versus the dollar, like it actually might even be going down versus the dollar as this chart stays strong. Because if Bitcoin goes to 29K, as OLT comes to here, it's probably going to be worth 3 pennies, right? Or that's $3, but 3 cents. But once Bitcoin turns around and it keeps this trend and it gains versus Bitcoin as Bitcoin goes up, this is going to have double and triple pumps. Like it's going to have like 500% moves, assuming it can keep this trajectory as Bitcoin turns around. And it's been in an uptrend for 12 months now. I mean, versus Bitcoin. There aren't many things that have been in an uptrend versus Bitcoin for 12 months. Not even Ethereum can say that. Even though Ethereum has been breaking out versus Bitcoin a little bit. But actually, maybe Ethereum can't. Maybe Ethereum can't say. I take that back. I think Ethereum can say that. Near Protocol can say that. Very few coins though. But yeah, OLT is looking good. Tradable on US dollars, I'm not going to go into that, but this would be more of your staking type of option if you wanted to do it. That's my rant on it, and I didn't give you the most crazy good analysis, but what to expect over time as Bitcoin starts going up. This could have some serious damn gains, and if you could catch this on this trend line, especially if Bitcoin has a dump and this goes down versus Bitcoin, this will probably find itself under 1 penny again, under 1 cent. If Bitcoin goes back down to 30K as this does that, that could be now you can see it. That honestly, if it does that as Bitcoin falls, I would sell. I don't know. I would sell some of my hodl positions like XRP Dash Mover to buy some of it if it did it as Bitcoin fell. All right. Okay. I gotta. Yeah, I'm way over, guys. I'm 30 minutes over my time. So Harrison. Okay. Let's see, XRP is my biggest holder now. I'm long Dash. Yeah, I'm long Dash 106. 106 actually was probably a pretty good pickup for Dash. That's a good. You just make sure you're using stops, and if you're part of the Discord community, I don't have somebody who trades Dash regularly, but what you can do is you can go over to the futures chat. Okay. So you got to scroll way down, right? Like there's just a bunch of activity, but, you would go to the futures one and you would just, if you wanted to know, if you're not comfortable with putting stops, people can help you out there in that futures tab. And that's available to all tiers. So the trades and setups, you can see this, all tiers. If you're lower tier, you can ask questions on how to help yourself with the risk management on that. But you're in the green right now. But and I can't on YouTube. On YouTube, I can't provide that type of value for you to show you where to put stuff, where I would put stops from a Pokemon card standpoint. But that would be your resource on my Discord if you want to do it, and people would probably respond pretty damn fast. Okay, so Harrison. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more. Harrison. Let's see here. ICP. Ugh. Is this finally recovering? Nope, it hasn't. This is the worst thing in crypto, people. I've already ranted and raved about this, and I called it. I called this shit when this came out on CoinMarketCap as the 8th largest cryptocurrency in the world. I said, and it's recorded in time forever, but I actually don't know which video it was, but I probably could zoom in because it happened around May 2021. I said, you can't snap your fingers and call yourself the 8th largest cryptocurrency in the world. It's going to tank, and it's going to tank hard. And without naming names, there was another big crypto YouTuber who has since admitted his or her mistake since then, claiming they lost well over $100,000 on that trade, who said, I'm bullish on this. Well, I said, no, you can't snap your fingers and say I'm number 8. It's going to crash, and it's going to crash hard. And it did. And it still hasn't recovered because it's below. Look at the weekly 10 EMA. And I'm not making fun of any YouTubers because that YouTuber was very honest. He even says, folks, or he or she, I'm not going to tell you the gender. I'm not going to assume his or her gender or their gender. But the person was honest about it, even apologized to his or her followers about it. So I'm not making fun of anybody because I've made bad moves, Viacoin, all that stuff. Everybody makes mistakes, right? But anyway, this was so obvious to me. You can't just come out and say you're the 8th biggest cryptocurrency when you've done jack shit besides release a coin. It still hasn't recovered. Weekly 10, resistance. Guess what's next? Resistance. It will continue going down until it gets above the weekly 10, makes a higher low, uses this as support, and this gains a positive slope. So this actually has to have a 4th condition. So similar to my 3 conditions I gave earlier on my hour rant on edges and all that stuff, this has a 4th. The weekly 10 has to get a positive slope. So that means you need at least 3 weekly closures above for this to truly get a positive slope on the weekly chart. This needs 4 conditions before it's not statistically probable that it keeps making lower lows. But as of now, it's like 70%. It's a much bigger than 50. Don't quote me on this, but I would put roughly a 70% chance that it continues making lower lows and lower highs at this point, because it hasn't even met one of 4 conditions that it has to meet for the probability to flip to 51% to the upside. It hasn't even met one of those. Therefore, the chances to the downside are way over 50. So yeah, I mean, I in my opinion, from a Pokemon card ICP standpoint, I wouldn't even DCA into this shit. I mean, personally, I wouldn't. Now, is it starting to look like it might be rounding out a bottom? Yeah. But remember what I told you. Whether you want to know it or not, 2022 has a statistical probability of having a capitulation. So if Bitcoin capitulates, while this still has a 70% probability of making lower lows, and then Bitcoin capitulates, this is going to drop another 60%. So you have strong edge to the downside, strong edge of crypto capitulation. I wouldn't even think about this. Horrible. Now, after getting some of this during a capitulation, maybe. Honestly, this could be a really good pickup because there were high expectations, and I think the team and the project are accomplishing stuff. This isn't, some project that is going away. I think they actually are trying to be a big competitor in its space. So I'm not saying the project sucks. I'm saying it came out. They're in terms of their tokenomics and how they priced it, they really screwed themselves. They should have underpriced themselves so that their performance is up. But what they did was they overpriced so that they could pay their team. So this is the founders and the team selling so they can keep their lights on, because they're not selling a product to people who are paying for it. That's why they came out overpriced, so they dump on your asses, kind of like Cardano in 2018. Do you think Charles sold his coins? Hell yeah, he did. Or the foundation? Of course they did, because Cardano has zero revenue. It had to sell its coins to keep paying its employees and keep the lights on. That's why this came overpriced. They had to sell because they have no profit. The only profit they have is from you guys buying it. That's how they pay their employees, from you guys buying it and their marketing to convince you to buy it. It's not a profitable, and neither is Cardano. Cardano's still not profitable. It might have. I think Cardano does have some revenue at this point, but it's in like the low millions, not even enough to cover their overhead of just overhead, whether that's labor and all and just office supplies or whatever overhead. It's still not profit. It's still in the red, right? Again, that's 5 years. So, but anyway, that helps you understand the stuff, why they overprice it, because they need a way to fund themselves. Now, a lot of coins recently, so that's ICP, like horrible. The cool thing about this cycle in crypto is a lot of venture capitalists, so VCs and non-VCs, just like individual angel investors, are giving funding. Like Algorand just got $350 million. And that means they don't have to dump their coins on their people to keep their lights on. They're getting funding. So the cool thing about projects that have an actual goal and they're actually doing something, even if it's not complete yet, Algorand being a really good example of that. Was it Near Protocol also got funding? So when companies get funding from either angel investors or VCs or whoever the money's coming from, that means they don't have to dump on you like Cardano did in 2018 to keep their lights on. They don't have to dump on you like ICP obviously did to keep their lights on. Getting funding is actually a really good thing, especially for the people who bought the project. Now, what I'm saying is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my understanding of crypto. Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, this is from my personal understanding, but I've seen how this works, and I already know projects cannot lose 99% of their value without the foundation or the founder selling. Like Cardano lost 98.77, so let's round up a little bit, 99% of its value from 2017 to 2020. It sold to keep its lights on because it didn't get funding from elsewhere, right? But could Cardano get funding now that Cardano is actually like almost doing something real? In terms of the number of protocols on its main chain, it's number 28 among the layer ones. It's not even the top 10, not even the top 20. In terms of total locked value, it's number 32, right? But they are finally starting to do something. And DeFi Llama, so if you want to understand layer ones and layer twos and who is actually doing something and who is a scam and just has a bearded cheerleader convincing you he's smart and worked on a PhD, although he actually never even went to a graduate program because he didn't have an undergraduate degree, so he lied about it the whole time. Anyway, DeFi with 2 L's, Llama, DeFi Llama, that website, it is amazing. I think I have it up here. Yeah, layer 1 rankings. Yes, this website is amazing, folks. It is. Look, Cardano. See where how do I have this ranked? Total. So let me rank it by total locked value. Cardano. See, I told you, number 32, total locked value, $250 million. Moon River just came out, and it's already above Cardano, which has had 5.5 years to do something, right? Look at Luna. Luna is a fucking beast, people. And this is just by total locked value. You can layer it by protocols. So the number of protocols on these layer ones here, Ethereum's obviously number 1 for both protocols and total locked value. Binance Chain has a lot of protocols. Look at Polygon. So it has a lot of total locked value too. I can't remember what number it was. Yeah, Polygon's doing really well. It's in the top 10 for both total locked value and for number of protocols running on it. Phantom also in the top 10. AVAX, like these are the things that are going to be around. Like look at Mover. Mover's a brand new thing. It's number 10 in terms of number of protocols running on it. Okay, where's Cardano? I think it's 28. Where'd it go? Shit, where is it? I thought it was, or maybe it was 22. Nope, it's 27 now. Yeah, it was 28. It's tied for number 10. It has 10 protocols running on it. Guys, if you're a layer 1, and then, or you can do layer 2s, you can look at oracles. So look at this. Chainlink looks like freaking Ethereum, which means Chainlink is severely undervalued. It is wiping the floor with everything else in terms of oracles. Wiping the floor. And just because no big YouTubers are pumping it and talking about it, if stuff capitulates, I don't know, that could, and I think it has 11% staking at some places. There's a capitulation and you want a longer term thing outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum. After capitulation, Chainlink it might be a good option for Pokemon cards, not financial advice. I got to get off here, people. I need to go eat. I'm skipping my gym day today because my lady doesn't feel well and I haven't been sleeping. So I got to get off. But so this next coming week, I believe I'm having the same times, 10:30 a.m. New York time, Tuesday and Thursday. However, the week after that, I might experiment with different times, like in the evening, right? Or I might even move it to a Saturday at 3 p.m. I don't know, but I'll do 2 or 3. I might even bump it up to 3 YouTube lives a week, but I'm gonna probably do it too. But I might change the time in 2 weeks. So next week, same time, same place. See you on your computer, 10:30 a.m. New York time. But the week after, I want to give you a heads up. I think I'm going to start experimenting with later times, or maybe even earlier times. I don't know. So stay heads up.